Well, good morning or good afternoon or good evening, everybody. So glad that you joined us today for day 14 of our walk in gratitude, our 30 days of gratitude. Today, I want you to think a little bit about um, Job. I don't know if you remember Job in the Bible. It's an amazing book about persistence and faith. In the story, Job is sort of somebody going along in his life and just doing what he's doing, and he gets caught up between a battle between God and Satan. And in the battle, the deal is God agrees to be sort of hands off, and Satan gets to do whatever Satan can do to kind of trip up Job. And Job is there to be faithful, to be the one who is sticking with it all. And throughout the story, Job loses everything. And it just gets worse and worse and worse. And throughout each moment, Job somehow sticks through. And this is a pretty common theme throughout, particularly the Hebrew scriptures, of resilience, of sticking through, of examples of people being faithful in incredibly difficult situations. And so I wanted to kind of think about that for a minute in terms of what the work we're doing around gratitude and why we do this work and what it's for. The spiritual practice of gratitude is about prayer. It's about making this such a habit that it's ingrained in your heart so that you are intentionally, actively praying and looking and living with intention, right? To find gratitude and to find God in that gratitude. Because I think that's part of what, if you read the book of Job, there's certainly elements of that, but I think that's part of what we're called to be as disciples about what it means for us to walk through our life in faith. In Romans, it says, be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer. Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer. In other words, the only way I think that we can look to be hopeful or to be joyful is to have that sense of gratitude, even to find those things when we're in the midst of afflictions, whatever that might be. And Paul writes about that. The afflictions are many. It can be temptations. It can be just the challenges of being alive and living, like Job. It can be in so many things, but in the midst of that, to be faithful in our prayer. There was a great person, Ignatia of Loyola. You might have heard of that person. He's really the founder of the Jesuit movement, but also someone who was steeped in prayer. And he wrote this little prayer that I want to share with you as maybe a way to think about this. And this prayer is giving up, right? It's about giving up of oneself and taking on that sense of knowing that everything around us is God's. See, one of the things about Job that we often forget or don't realize that was in the midst of his struggle, he was still able to see that the world around him belonged to God and that God would be faithful to him. So listen to this prayer from Ignatius of Loyola. Take, Lord, and receive all my liberty, my memory, my understanding, and my entire will, all that I have and possess. Thou hast given all to me. To thee, O Lord, I return it. All is thine. Dispose of it wholly according to your will. Give thy love and thy grace, for this is sufficient for me. I think that's such a beautiful prayer. And so I encourage you in your walk through this spiritual practice of gratitude, maybe to think about Job, to think about the challenges that we face, or to think about what Paul says about how we're called to be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, and faithful in prayer, or that we might have that same joy of releasing and understanding that all the world around us belongs to God, that Ignatius of Loyola offers to us on this day. I'm so glad you've joined today, and I hope you have a wonderful Sunday. And God bless, and I'll see you tomorrow.